This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14, and it reads, it says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Akakodash. Double honors to my elder apostles, elder bishops, elders at Great Millstone, at Ruah, that teacher, that taught me this truth. Peace, love, and salutation to the behalf of that without, which is the host of David, which is the elect. Shalom. It's shalom to you, sincere Akim, and sincere Akwaf. I follow the lamb wherever it goes. Shalom. It's your brother Yanaga here from the Providence, Rhode Island camp. Coming back to you again with a quick one, real quick. Okay, before we, I got a video queued up. All right. Before we play that video real quick, let's get the, matter of fact, let's get this real quick. All right, so it's a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use.
To international news, U.S. and Iranian negotiators say there's been progress in their nuclear talks, even as the U.S. assembles a massive naval force in the region and Iran launches military exercises right nearby. MTS Tayyab has details from London.
Tony, good evening. Well, the U.S. and Iran held another round of indirect talks today on that country's nuclear program, this time in Geneva. Now, Iran's foreign minister said both sides have agreed on broad, quote, guiding principles, though major gaps still remain as Iran continues to insist on its right to enrich uranium and refuses to discuss its missile program or its regional proxies. Now, the talks come as the U.S. has surged aircraft carriers and warships into the region, a move President Trump says is meant to deter Iran. Now, the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has bluntly warned his country would retaliate against any attack as the Iranian military stages exercises near the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, newly verified footage appears to show demonstrators back on the streets in western Iran, a risky show of defiance just weeks after a massive government crackdown that rights groups say saw thousands killed. The bottom line here is this: Iran faces unrest at home, fragile diplomacy abroad, and a rising military confrontation on its doorstep, a volatile mix that could push the region closer to war.
I just have so much bio.
Okay, so there you have it, man. Okay, so, you know, this thing is going to ramp up, man. All right, this thing is going to ramp up. Let me read that again. Revelation 11 and 14, and it reads, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly, man. Okay, the Lord is orchestrating this thing, right? Matter of fact, let me end it off on this scripture here real quick. I'm not going to make this too long. Just, you know, short, sweet, and straight to the point, right? This is Isaiah 13 and 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Okay, the banner is the Bible, right? It says, exalt unto them, exalt a voice unto them, and shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the noble, right? So we're telling them off, right? And particularly the elites, right? All right, of this society, right, of this world, right, that rule this world, right? It says, verse 3, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones from my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness, right? It says, verse 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as if a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. The Lord, Yahweh Bashmirashai of hosts, Lord of armies, mustereth the hosts of the battle. Okay, so the Lord is orchestrating this thing, man. All right. Is, you know, just because their facility is not, you know, knocked out the first time, you know, they're still pushing forward, right, for their let's say the uranium, the one ingredient they need to create a nuclear missile, right? Okay, they're gonna get it done, man. All right, the Lord, this is the Lord's movie, man. Okay, this is thus said the Lord, thus said the Bible, man. Okay. The Lord said that all these other nations, right, are going to come up against Babylon the Great, man, and they're going to shoot at her with arrows, man. Okay, as the scripture says, you know, they're gonna shoot at her, okay, with those arrows, man, going into those nuclear missiles, right? It says, verse 5, they come from a far country, from the ends of heaven, even the Lord Yahweh, and the weapon of his indignation to destroy the whole land, man. All right? So this is what's going to happen, man. Okay, the scriptures talks about it being a line of confusion, man. All right? Verse 6, how ye, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, right? Because people are going to be panicked, man. Because just know, right, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah is going to be in those missiles, man. Okay, it's gonna be a divine power from those missiles to wipe out this whole place in less than 1 hour, man. It says, verse 8, and they shall be afraid, pangs shall and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames, man. Okay. Verse 9, it says, behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and their constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the hardiness of the terrible, man. All right? So, you know, I just wanted to report that real quick. You know, hold on, Salakia, let me get this here real quick.
Let me show you something that makes me furious every time I see it. This is a real tax return from someone making $284,900.
Okay.
To international.
Just want to report this here real quick. You know, Iran, and it says U.S. and Iran wrap up second round of nuclear talk, man. So Iran is, you know, still continuing, right, with their promotion to still try to get that that nuclear missile up, man. All right, and U.S. is, you know, on their doorstep, watching them exercise military drills, man. Watching Iran exercise nuclear, you know, military drills, man. So, you know, again, man, hopefully this is edifying, you know, to you sincere Akim or Akwaf, you know, just watching the news and reporting what's on the news, right? So with that, you know, again, you know, watch as well as pray. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Khodash, Shalom to the elect. Shalom.